This is a 65 horsepower, 4-cylinder, and mechanical. Sorry. So this is where your rotor, your cap, your wires go to the spark plugs. It's driven by a belt. It's a timing belt. This one's got a little slop in it, so I need to order a new timing belt. And I went through it, cleaned the carbs. I have a video on that, and so those are clean. They're installed. It's in place. I haven't gotten any further because I really don't like that. I realized that was that much pressure. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I need to put my starter back and wire it up so I can check the engine. And the way I do that is I got a little thing that hooks up the battery. Dang it. It's my solenoid. So I've got my switch, and it's going to be yellow. And a lot of times on the Mercury, that's yellow anyway. Alright, so power is going to go on here. So it's going to be this guy. Just go ahead and hook it up. Fortunately, they put that guy way down there, man. It's kind of a pain to get to. I'm going to go through this just because I think it maybe it's the right thing to do. Alright, so if you can see that, I think that's just a 1/2 inch. Where the power's going to come in just like that. See, it's a 1/2. Yeah, it's a 1/2. Alright, that's snug. And then just make sure that this is not touching that. One side of that, once the solenoid is kind of touching the sidewall of the carburetor, now see if I can loosen this and shift it over. Wait, what do I got going on here? Okay, so I already got a ground wire going to here. So that's ground. Huh, awesome. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a ground now going to here. So the solenoid, for all intents and purposes, is hooked up. This goes to power. Okay. I can do that. I might make this better because just kind of hook this up. This is power. To that yellow. I'm going to see if I got some more red, and I'm going to make me a new line for this. But I can put this back in. So we got one lock washer, and this one doesn't have one. So I'm betting we got another lock washer we need to put on there. Alright, here we go. Got a lock washer. Another one. Alright. So this goes there. Seems I would say this one is shot, so we need a replacement. Which I think I have actually. So I'm kind of worried about this, which is the alternator. Yeah, that's just trash. Let's see if I can find another one. Okay, let me show you something. Let me back up. So I'm wiring, got everything on my solenoid right now, and that solenoid is good. And then I've made a red wire. It's going to go up and hit the box that charges the box. So when I hit the yellow, it opens the solenoid, and then it's going to hit the other side of the solenoid, allows the high amperage to flow. So this is my positive, and then my negative lead for my battery is here. So before they had a ground wire that was going to here, and I've checked that continuity and that's good. So now where we're at is checking this guy, which is the solenoid. The alternator, because I just want to make sure I don't send an over voltage to that. Check, this is my rectifier. It's the same thing that's in an amplifier basically, but this is some essentially it's diodes, just like in a rectifier. So anyway, the best way to check it is to take your meter and put it on the diode. So if we go and we put our negative I'm sorry, yeah, our negative on ground, and then see if I can rig this where it'll give me enough light. Yeah, I should be able to see that. Here to here, I'm sorry, I'm backwards. So from ground to this diode should be 0.457. I mean, that's going to float a little bit depending on the diode. And then if I go from the ground to this one, there's 4.77 is the diode on that one. And then if I go to here, which would be the rectified version, then it's going to double. So now this one should, hopefully I can hold this, maybe you can see this again. So a positive lead on ground, and then we're going to go to terminal A or C. So we got 0.57 is our resistance of that diode. And then if we look at this one, it's this 0.47. 475, as long as it's in that range. And then if we look at this side of the rectifier, should be double that, which is 0.851. Alright, so the next thing is this is your stator coil, your alternator. I'm going to just check it and see if it's good. And then it's got continuity. So this is good. This should just go right back on. Okay, so again, this is coming out of the alternator and A and C terminal of the rectifier. It's being rectified and then hits this terminal. That terminal is connected to the positive terminal that the solenoid is connected on. And that allows it to charge the battery. And then my yellow lead, let me get this out of here, connects to my switch box. One of these days I'm going to make another one with a gauge so I can have a tag. But it hits that side of the positive lead there. And essentially what happens is the red is connected, my switch box is connected to here. The red, then the 12 volt, when I hit the switch, fires and goes down the yellow cable, hits that side of the solenoid, and because they're grounded between the two terminals, and which is a coil, and so you'll hear it mechanically pop, allows the high voltage or higher amperage to go through the solenoid. It hits this wire and it comes up and it hits my starter, and then this is the negative side of the battery, which now becomes chassis ground. So I can check that too with an ohm meter and make sure I'm getting chassis ground everywhere. But I'll wait until I get the top on and get this back on here. And then what I need to figure out is these two leads and where they need to go. Okay, the other side of my little switch, so one side is choke and one is start. So I got start, choke. So this is choke, and that would be the black wire going up to here. And this is an interrupt switch as well, because if you leave it on, you're going to cook it. And we're about wired up.